And back to yourself now. You are a physio by trade. You did your masters in strength conditioning as well. What drove you to do both of those? And what skills do you think the modern day physio is going to need with the evolution of the landscape of what rehabilitation is?
So I did physio. I did work experience with a physio when I was in grade 11 or 12 and actually really liked it.
That's when they did oil paintings for your school photos, wasn't it?
That's and the oil was black and white. And so we did that, and you've had that in the gun for the last 40 years.
I get it from these idiots. So. I've gone from giving it to people to now receiving it. So.
And the thing that I loved about it, most physios will say they love helping people, and not many people don't like helping people. But that wasn't what attracted me. The thing that attracted me was problem solving. I loved figuring stuff out. And then so I was doing that, and I was doing that for a number of years. But there are some physios out there that claim to be able to, feel when L2 is rotated on L3 by half a degree and stuff like that. And I kind of kidded myself that I could, but I never could. And I, to be honest, I never really bought into it. And I kind of never really trusted the people that said they could. And that's probably just my own bias. But working in performance sport, I realised that it was great and I loved solving those problems, but my picture of the world was incomplete. And the way I was a physio was very much about getting strong, managing load, all those sorts of things. And naturally, therefore, a lot of my mates in performance sport were people that did that for a living outside of physio, which are the strength and conditioning coaches. So I spent an awful lot of time just hanging out with them and training with them, and this was particularly in the UK. And so I ended up by doing an S&C Masters, and I did that with Dan, the co-editor of this book. And he started as a physio as well. And what we could really see was it gave us just a much clearer picture of the landscape of what actually performance is. And that's it. So getting back to the second part of your question is, what will physios need to do is, physios need to know the nuts and bolts of being physio, and that is critical thinking, clinical reasoning, knowing your anatomy and physiology and all that sort of stuff. So that's the nuts and bolts. But they actually need to know what performance actually is. That's the next bit if you're going to work in a performance setting. Beyond that is the personal skills, which is how to get buy-in, how to get trust, how to get influence, all that sort of stuff. But moving forward, I think what technology is going to be able to give us is much greater than ever before insights into what's happening with a person. Currently, we probably guess about 87% of it, and technology is going to allow us to see much less.
Including that percentage.
But technology is going to be able to actually get greater insights into what's happening with the body. So rather than just go, I think maybe, you look pretty recovered, you're going to be able to categorically know what it is and then program appropriately. So the physios of the future are going to have to be able to understand their craft, understand performance, but also understand how to corral all this information into all this data into meaningful information that impacts decisions. So it's going to get, in some ways it's going to get easier because you're going to have greater insights, but in many other ways it's going to get harder because there's an awful lot more stuff to do and you can't get away with just, bluffing your way through things, And a lot of physio, a lot of people do that, it's a bluff. I think hopefully with technology we'll reduce the room for that.